Let's make this sports trading card template in Photoshop. So I've got my blank document set up. I've actually set this up so it's an accurate sports card template. So what we have is 2.75 by 3.75 inches. Standard size is 2.5 by 3.5 inches, but I've left an 1/8 inch of bleed on all sides. So that's why the dimensions are slightly bigger. 300 pixels per inch, so that brings the final size to 825 by 1125 pixels. First thing I'm gonna do is set up my margins. So if you go to View, Guides, New Guide Layout, make sure this margin box is checked. I'm gonna do the 1/8 inch on all sides, so that's 0.125 inches. Now this is the bleed, so in the final design, if you send this to a printer, they're gonna cut off this 1/8 of an inch. And that's so that the color or the artwork goes all the way to the edges. So they kind of print it bigger than they need to, then cut it down. And then the next guide I'm gonna make is, again, going to Guides, New Guide Layout. I'm gonna use a 0.25 inch margin. So we're basically using an 1/8 inch margin within the bleed settings. And whenever I'm designing for print in Photoshop and I'm using bleed, I like to make a new layer. Let's take our rectangular marquee tool. I'm just gonna draw out a box that is kind of within the bleed guidelines, so like that. And then Command-Shift-I will invert the selection, so we're just getting this strip selected. And then you can use something like this dark gray color, hit your fill tool, G is a shortcut, and click once. So we're kind of hiding the edges. Now you can toggle this on and off to see how the design looks with and without the bleed. And we can call this layer bleed preview. I'm probably just gonna keep this on for the sake of this video until the very end, but if you were submitting this as a print file, you would turn this off before exporting the final image. So let's start our design by making the frame that goes around the photo. And if you hit Command semicolon, that'll toggle on and off the guides. I'm gonna go to my rectangle tool and draw out a rectangle that is in line with the inner margin. And we can see the dimensions popping up, 2.25 width. We want 3.25 height. Any color is fine. I'm just gonna center this by selecting the whole screen with Command A and then going up to, with my move tool selected, going up to these icons at the top to center that vertically and horizontally. This would be a very basic frame. You kind of have the background layer, which is just this white area, and then you'd put the photo in this box. A lot of cards have some sort of like angled or different shape elements within the frame, so we're gonna go that route. Let's make a new layer, and again with the rectangle tool, I'm gonna pick a different color. Let's use yellow for this one, and I'm just gonna make a box 3.5 inches tall. And I'm gonna angle this. So if you hit A for your direct selection tool, we can take one of these corners. I'm just gonna like select that one, and then hitting my arrow keys, you can hold shift while hitting an arrow key. I'm gonna move this to the left. So we're turning this shape into a regular path. We'll continue, and now we can kind of manipulate the points within the shape. So whatever angle you want to go with, we'll go with something like that. And let's line this up so it's exactly in line with the bottom and right side of this rectangle. You can hit Command and click on the thumbnail of the rectangle, and then back to the move tool, you can justify right and bottom on this yellow shape layer. And now if we change this color to white, you can see it's kind of cutting out of our main photo box. And now let's make a kind of complementary shape in the top left. So I'm going to duplicate this, hit Command T, and holding Shift, you can rotate this and just bring this up to the corner, which again, we can justify by hitting Command, clicking on the thumbnail to make that selection, and then justifying left and top. And now if we hide the background layer, I'm actually gonna turn this shape layer into the inverse of it. So we'll put like a stroke around the outside to match this white. So let's make a new layer and just fill it with black, let's say, so we can see it. And then go into your effects, you can make a stroke, and we'll do an inside stroke with white. And I'm just gonna bring up the size until it touches those shapes on the edges. We'll hit OK, and then we'll drop this fill down to 0. And now when we hide this rectangle layer, we're now left with this white frame. And so when we have a white frame like this and we have the cutout of the photo, we can basically manipulate and put whatever images we want in each of those layers. So let's group these together and call it frame. And now underneath everything, we can drop in our photo. So let's drag that in. We have Pavel Yanis of the Chicago Union, and we'll size him about there. And for the frame, let's make it a similar blue color to the jersey. So I'm gonna make a new layer and hitting B for my brush tool. If you hold Option while you have the brush tool selected, this is the shortcut to eyedropper that I use. And so I'm just taking a blue from the jersey. Once we've filled in this layer, we can clip it to the frame by holding Option, hovering in this space and clicking. So now we only have this blue fill layer affecting the frame, which is great. And now let's do like a two-toned effect. I'm gonna duplicate this one. Again, clip it. Let's hit Command T to transform and change the height to 50%. So now it's half the height. And now I'm gonna choose like a much lighter blue. So like this on the shorts. And we can hit G again for the fill tool to fill that in. And we can also drag this to the top or hit Command A again and justify it to the top. We can turn that bleed preview back on as well. Now I've positioned the photo like this for a reason. I want to have his face kind of popping out. So to do that effect, let's duplicate this photo layer, Command J, bring it to the top. And then if you hit W for your quick selection tool and just hit select subject, and then hit the mask icon in the bottom right, we've now created a mask of the subject in the image, which is including the defender too. And so we don't want that, we just want his head. So let's put this into its own group, put an inverted mask on this, holding Option, you can click on the mask icon. This is just hiding this entire group, like whatever's in this group is now being hidden. And now we can brush on white. You take a white brush on a black mask to reveal whatever that mask is hiding. And so we can reveal back just the player's hat. We can do a bit of texturing on this frame as well. And so I've got this abstract art kind of bokeh looking thing. I downloaded this texture a long time ago, but I'm just gonna blow this up. Again, clipping it to the frame, holding Option, clicking in that space between the layers. And then let's switch the blend mode to color dodge, maybe overlay, I think color dodge. Just drop the fill down to, I don't know, 50% or so. Get this sort of abstract lighting effect. I think I'm also gonna revise this blue color and just go with a slightly darker tone from the jersey. Maybe not that dark. Maybe like this. And let's also make a new layer and take a gradient, a black to transparent gradient, which you can get up in your basics if your foreground and background are set back to black and white. D is the shortcut to reset your foreground and background, but if you have the black as your foreground color, you can go to your gradient tool and go up here to basics, black to transparent. And I just want to bring in a little bit of darkness in this bottom corner. The last couple things I want to do with the frame, if you go into the effects of the frame layer, we can put on a stroke. And this one we're going to set to outside and bring the size down to maybe 4 pixels. Now I also want to add a drop shadow. So we can click on the drop shadow and you can see it's kind of creating an inner shadow on the photo layer because again, this is the frame layer on the outside that we're controlling. You can play with these settings too. Hit OK. Now let's just add our final elements, player name, team logo, and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna make a new layer on top of everything. T for the type tool, let's do white for the foreground color. Font, I'm gonna use Montserrat bold. I'm gonna click once and type out Pavilianis Handler. And we'll change the font size to 10 and let's do 7 for the subtitle. So that's his position. And we can also change this one to medium font weight just to get a bit of contrast there. Just gonna line this up with the bottom of our image. So that looks pretty good. I wanna add the team name as well. If we move this over and hit Command J to duplicate, let's just type out CHI. We'll do the abbreviation. And I've got this Dharma Gothic font that I like for bold, skinny text. I'm just gonna line this up so it's like exactly the same height as the player name. I think that looks okay. Maybe we space it out. It honestly might be better on the other side. Let's take the name and right justify it. And then if we take shy over here, we might also need to build in a little bit more space, which we can do if you just go back into the frame. And let's see, it's this rectangle layer. We can hit A for the direct selection tool, highlight both of these points, and then holding shift and nudging the left arrow key can move this block over. and just expand it out. And we've got our bottom right elements. Let's also create the team logo in a nice white circle in the top left. So I'm gonna go to my ellipse tool, new layer, and just draw out a white circle. I'm gonna bring up my guides again. Let's just have it popping out slightly of this margin. Here, I wanna make sure it's an even amount going over on the left and going above, but I think that feels about right. We can bring in the team logo now, Chicago Union. And I'm centering this on the ellipse by command clicking on the ellipse thumbnail and center justifying horizontally and vertically. So there we have that. We can also add a drop shadow to the ellipse just with the effects as well. Probably something a little more subtle. It feels like there's a bit too much space on this top block of the frame. I know it's even with the bottom space, but I just want to make it a little bit smaller. So again, we can adjust that, Command T. Let's just make it 50% the size as far as the height goes. Just moving this into the corner. And then we can, again, do that direct selection trick with just these points and bring that part in to see the whole picture. So that way we're keeping the same angles on this frame shape, but we're also like reducing the space so the photo fits a bit cleaner, which I do want to adjust slightly. I think I like when his hat is in line with that white line horizontally. That's gonna do it for the final trading card template design. Obviously from here you can swap out the photo, swap out the player name, position, team, all that. And again, when you export, I would hide the bleed, export this image, the printer will automatically trim that outside edge. Thanks as always for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.